You got a lot of hair for somebody who writes on the internet.
Yeah, I've been getting called Jesus a lot recently. I think I had a really big beard too at one point, and I had to shave it because it was just getting to be too much.
Yeah.
What's the best religion, you think?
I'm a big fan of ex spiritualism.
X
What's that,
Spirit. Is
like an
that like,
anime?
It's a new one. They just invented it like last year.
what
Oh,
is it?
You got to go on Aesthetics Wiki. It's like a whole worship of esotericist imagery and like really fried jump style music.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, I think it's based in Lithuania, Eastern Europe.
Welcome to Nerzy, the number one podcast for news and events about what kind of shit Zoomers are doing on the internet, from just a group of pathetically old men. My name is Drew. Joined today by co-host Slava, Trey, and producer Joe. Couldn't make it because they were hanging out with Zoomers doing field research, and our music is by Craig S. Jenkins. Today on the pod, we have Kieran Press-Reynolds, who is, according to his official bio, which was written by me before this, is a writer covering the weirdest things on the music internet. And you can find his writing in the New York Times, Nobel's, Pitchfork, Nina Protocol, and many other fine publications. Kieran, what's going on?
What's up? I'm happy to be the resident or the token Zoomer on the call right now.
Okay, flash market research. How do we make this show appeal to the youth and not our target demographic, who is like 30-year-old dudes who like used to go to shows but now don't have any friends?
I think you got to get Julia Fox on here or like get Laser Dim 700 on here. Then people will really listen.
Okay, that's good advice.
Julia Fox was like 2 episodes ago. Megan Garvey explained it to us, so I think we can get her.
Yeah, should be an easy email. I'm sure she'd be
Yeah.
down.
Slava, do you like Laserdisc 700?
I was hoping you wouldn't have to ask me that, so I wouldn't have to come up with an answer. But what's that, like a restaurant or something?
No, it's a rapper. You would like him. He's like an Atlanta guy who is who owes Hyperpop Daily money and is like, it's like weird stream of consciousness post based god stuff. I don't know. Kieran, is that accurate or did I just do old?
Yeah, I think so. My favorite thing about him is that he has like an ear for just the most like outrageous beats. So he'll like hop on like what sounds like intergalactic like hyper gabber for no reason, and it'll have like 1,000 plays on SoundCloud, and I'm like, why did he do that? But it sounds really cool. And yeah, there's just like so many. He's kind of got like that like RX Nephew vibe of like just spewing out a song like every day or every other day. So it's kind of fun to keep up with him and see what he's doing.
What's the last thing you liked that was traditionally popular?
I really like the Chapel Roan stuff and like Good Luck Babe, I think is a really good song, really catchy, without sounding like overly generic.
What about, I was actually going to say go more generic, because that's still kind of obscure to a lot of people.
Really? She has like 20 million. I guess she's like just blowing up now, but yeah.
Like my mom doesn't know
Um,
who that is. Do you like any Drake music?
Never been a huge Drake guy, but I liked, his hits when I heard them on the radio, like I'm Upset and like One Dance and uh I really like the Tinashe song Nasty.
Okay.
Um,
Do you like any Marvel movies?
you know, I'd say like I would see them with friends, but I wouldn't seek them out on my own.
Okay, what
I
about
feel like
wrestling?
I've never been a big wrestling fan.
What about sports in general?
Yeah, I'm a huge like in high school and college I ran track and cross country. So running is like my thing. I've been watching the Olympic trials recently and people have been setting crazy records. There was a 16-year-old in the 400 meters. It's crazy.
Really?
He's going to the Olympics on the team on the 4x4.
You think he likes Laserdisc 700?
Probably. That's probably what he listens to before the race to get him pumped up.
Yeah,
So
like the
far,
Michael Phelps Eminem thing.
wait, what was the
Yeah.
Michael Phelps Eminem thing?
Oh, Michael Phelps very famously listened to Lose Yourself like before every race in the Olympics that he won all the gold medals in.
Well, that's just a good song. But hang on, Kieran. So far in every genre I've asked, you've kind of picked something obscure. What about like movies and TV shows? What's your favorite TV show? It's got to be something generic, right?
Yeah,
You
I mean,
gotta
I
be
love The Sopranos,
okay.
Mad Men, The Wire,
What about reality
Deadwood.
TV?
Oh, I love Survivor. I'm like a real Survivor head. And
What's your favorite season of Survivor?
I started watching it season 20, like the heroes versus villains. I
Okay,
think probably my favorite would be Kagiyan, the 28th one.
What
okay.
That,
was wait, what's that one?
that's one with Tony when Tony won with like Spencer and Cass. It just had like it was like an all newbie season, and
Hmm.
Survivor had just been going through a stretch of like what people call the dark ages, these like awful
Mm,
seasons. And so Kageyan was like, holy shit, this I think that the show might have got canceled without that season because it was
really?
incredible.
What do
I
you think
dropped
of the
out
new? Oh,
from. Sorry. I was gonna share a Survivor tidbit. I went to They had a big party in Toronto for the finale of season 4, and it was held at
Mm.
the Toronto Zoo. So I went to that, and it was amazing. And then I didn't watch Survivor again until season 41 when I was in jail, and that was the season that was famously cut short due to COVID. So like their
Yeah.
final torch thing was a Zoom call, like the one we're having now.
oh
Yeah, that
my
was so
God!
sad.
Wait, they had to get the survivors off the island because of COVID?
No, it was filmed, but the worst part was like it was the all winter season. So it was like the Avengers season of Survivor, like all the goats were there. And the season was on the island, like it was filmed properly, but then it was like the finale was I was like May 2020, and you just saw them on this like rinky dink Zoom call instead of like a real finale. It was
Um,
so sad.
what do you think of the new season? I watched the trailer and like apparently one of the guys from fucking Pod Save America is on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, do you think we can go on it?
I think you could probably get on it, Slava, because you're like physically strong, and I assume know how. And you have like you have skills in like building things and fixing things. They would
Most of
vote
those
you
come
off
from
first.
TikTok. Well, yeah, I'm tuned into like DIY TikTok, like starting a fire with like a shoelace.
Wait, do you ever watch those videos of like people in like I think it's people in like Eastern Asia or somewhere where they like build a whole like house in the
Yes.
woods in like a minute or like not a minute, but it's yeah, one video.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, but I could probably do that.
You should apply.
I don't think it's like I think it's like a nepotism thing. You have to know somebody to really get in there.
Maybe I applied when I turned 18 and I like got a call back and did an interview, but then it didn't go any
What?
further.
Holy shit! What did they ask you?
They asked me some pretty basic questions, but one thing that I think I failed on, which they asked if I'd ever gotten in a fight in my life. And I think they want people who start drama, and I was like, nope, I never got in a fight, like I never fist fought anybody. And
Um,
like I could tell the woman's voice kind of dropped after that. She was like, "Oh, okay. He's a good kid."
damn.
Have they had people in the last few years who are like explicitly online content creators or no? Has that like been reflected in the applicants?
I think so. I feel like maybe I haven't seen any like recognizable YouTubers or influencers or whatnot, but yeah, there have been a lot of like lawyers for some reason. I think it's funny
Really?
though, because at this point, like anybody who's on the show kind of automatically becomes an influencer. Like they all end up with like 100K on Instagram and they get like thousands of dollars from doing cameos after. So it's like no matter what, they become Instagram stars or micro stars.
It's interesting to chart the rise of certain occupations through Survivor because when the show started, the idea of CrossFit didn't exist. And I bet you
Mhm.
one of the seasons was probably like 30% CrossFit instructors competing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of I feel like there are definitely people have been complaining about the lack of diversity, not like racially, but like in terms of jobs and like different like economic classes. It seems like the same kind of people get cast now, and it's like the super fans and the people who really know the game. And I
Yeah, how
think
do they
that
can afford to
hurts.
take 6 weeks off work?
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
could. I don't have a job, so
Hell yeah. You were definitely music writer then. Do y'all, to kind of get it back to like music stuff, do y'all know about Will Survives?
No.
So Will Survives is he's like a YouTuber and a rapper. I know about him because he was on a DJ Lucas song one time. And as his name might suggest, he just like fucking started a YouTube channel where he like drove a minivan into the woods and was like, I live here now. I live in the woods. And every day he uploads a video like chronicling his journey, like surviving in the woods. Like he built this very elaborate like hut thing. He erected a basketball hoop. He's like really good at basketball. He like talks about himself fishing and stuff. He's
Is this like a
a
real thing, or is this like Universal Music put $60,000 behind a marketing campaign?
no, he would be doing like something much more mainstream than a DJ Lucas feature. If that were the case. No, he's just like a really positive kid who is really good at fishing and gets mad when bears like fuck his fucking shed up.
Damn.
Same, bro.
Yeah.
Is this music good?
Yeah, he doesn't make a ton, but he has a like pretty good freestyle, and the music video is him like stunting at his compound.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
pretty
this
good.
feels very like Dark World vibe. I can see why they did the collab.
Yeah, if like this kid were not a thing, like Dark World would have had to invent him.
Kieran, I was told to ask, not by Drew, but somebody else told me to ask you about like what your like diet of TikTok shit is, because you watch some really crazy TikTok stuff. So like, is that something that you have to actively groom your algorithm, or does it know you better than you know yourself?
Yeah, it's been a little more sedate recently. When I worked at Insider and I was a digital culture reporter, that was like a heavy part of my daily research. So I would spend hours getting like bizarre videos of people like plane arguments, because that was a really big like traffic draw in articles. So just people like beefing on planes.
Wow.
So you're searching
Now-
plain drama, or like how do you know the search
Yeah.
terms to even look for?
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot I did that. Yeah, I do so much keyword searching back in the day where it would be like, yeah, like airplane drama, and I'd search by like last week or like last 24 hours, and I'd try and find like, and there's so many little tips you can use, because like sometimes TikTok will show you like 4 recent videos, but they might not be the best ones. You got to scroll all the way down for like the real heavy hitters, and I would just like get real like, I don't know, just like excavating deep into that, and a lot of just random brain rot content. I get all these like videos where people throw balls down a hill, and they'll have like an AI voice of Ice Spice and an AI voice of like, I don't know, someone like Blade or Young Lean. And then like whichever ball goes down farther, then that person will start singing a song, and it'll be like a kind of weird AI duet between the two of them. And I get these weird, like seemingly kind of like racist videos of like, it seems like it's like white people using like Chinese, like Mandarin text and like all this stuff in this like very hyper frenetically edited video. And it's like, it's supposed to be kind of like a shit post, but it just, I don't know. I kind of want to stop getting them because they're freaking me out. And they're like, the Chinese government is taking over your For You page. Like, be prepared. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on with these.
So wait, so are you saying that your time at Insider caused the brain rot, or the brain rot was always there and TikTok just made it worse, and Business Insider is not liable?
Well, I think I've always been kind of tapped into that side of the internet culture. Like back in the day, I would make like shitpost videos for YouTube. So it definitely the Insider thing like
Hold on,
exacerbated.
time out.
What's up?
Okay, I knew about this because I went to your website earlier today because I was like, I gotta like find other things Kieran has written about besides the things I know about. And your bio says that you were a shitpost YouTuber. Like, what does that mean? Where can people find you on YouTube? You don't have to say your name, but I do want to, the people need to know.
Nobody can find me anymore. I've taken it off. I've gone incognito, but
Okay.
there was this popular strain of meme edits in the mid 2010s called montage parodies or like MLG edits, and they were like parodying this trend of kids taking Call of Duty really seriously and making those like, you know, the montages and kind of pushing that to like a really inane, absurd extent by adding like flashing lights and like a big joke was like 360 no scoping people and like Snoop Dogg smoking a joint for some reason was a big thing, and like dubstep music, and kind of like using all those like signifiers and applying that to a lot of different, like making fun of like the Angry Birds movie or just random shit. And so I did that for a few years and I got some traction off that, and I tried to like leverage it into doing like IRL comedy skits. Like I did one thing where I tried to drink a gallon of milk and then I got really close and I puked all over my neighborhood park, and that was a fun time. It's just like a lot of
Did you ever think about doing man on the street stuff? I feel like you'd be like pretty good at that, and that always seems to go viral.
You know, I lived in LA when I did my YouTube stuff, so there was
Perfect.
nobody on the street. I
Nice.
was in the suburbs, South Pasadena, and you couldn't get anybody there. I was going to college and applying to jobs, and I was like, this shit's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of juvenile. So I just now I'm like, I wish I kept it, but at the time I was 17 and I was like, yeah, I don't want to be known for this forever.
And
So
even
I
at
stopped.
17, you recognize that it was like juvenile because you are primarily making audience content for like a young audience. If you're making content online that you want to be very successful, right? You are speaking to a predominantly like young audience.
Yeah, and I think I got to the point where that trend was kind of dying, and like,
Oh, you don't think that's the case anymore?
well, I mean, it's dead now. This like the montage parody thing specifically, and I was getting a lot of comments, people telling me to kill myself, and they were like, "Why are you dragging this thing into like, you know, whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, like seems like people are done with it." But I do have a lot of like, you're right about it being kids. Like I have people now who will like find my other social media and be like, "Why did you take your stuff down? That was my childhood." Or like I used to talk about this stuff with my friends in middle
What?
school. Like, I want to go
Oh
watch
my
it.
God.
I'm like, I'm sorry, dog. Like it's gone.
Well, to a certain extent, you are still in the game. And by that, I mean, you recently wrote an excellent piece for Dazed about like brain rot humor. And in it, you do touch on the MLG style edits. And so now we understand why your knowledge of that is so intimate. But like, yeah, do you kind of want to talk about like what is a skibbity toilet, and also sort
Is
of
he saying that right? Is it skibbity or skibbity?
It's actually Sky by Eye.
Oh, damn,
okay.
embarrassing.
I know. It's okay.
But yeah, do you kind of want to talk about the piece and also explain some of the shit you're kind of delving into and like what it means or what it means that it doesn't mean anything?
Yeah, I mean, yes, for sure. So Skibbity Toilet is just like, it's basically this YouTube series of actually really professionally edited, high quality videos of like this like flesh, this like toilet with heads popping out, this like civilization of toilets fighting against this weird army of mechanical creatures with like just incredibly complex weaponry. And it's like this kind of like minute long. Each video is a minute long, and they're like something like 70 videos now, and people are really invested in the lore. But for some reason, I'd really recommend it if you haven't watched it. It's kind of impressive.
Sounds like a Rick and Morty episode.
It might be a bit, yeah. It's like Rick and Morty, but even more fried, maybe. I don't know how it originally got like turned into a meme, but I think people just thought that the name was ridiculous. They were like, Skibbity Toilet, what the hell is that? And like the image of actually, I know, because it got turned into like this mashup song where it was like the guy, the face in the toilet was saying like, Skibbity, Skibbity's blah, blah, blah. And it was mashed up with some popular song. And that went viral on TikTok. And basically it just spiraled into this storm where people were making fun of it and turning it into this like surreal, absurd thing. And then people realized that there were all these other words also kind of going viral that were similarly stupid, like Riz and Phantom Tax. And
Yeah.
Giat, yeah, and like Lizzie Dunn, Rizzed Up, Baby Gronk, just all
Of
this
course.
ridiculousness. And then I think it really caught fire when this like teenager did this song. It was like a Roblox video of them squeaking a bunch of these buzzwords together, like stringing them along together, and then it became this sort of like unofficial category of brain rot humor. And now uh, I kind of wrote about how it's been like any new piece of brain rot that develops kind of gets added on to this like unofficial vocabulary now. And so there are like dozens and dozens of these words, and they all have kind of become meaningless. They're all the same.
Do you know what YOLO means?
Yeah, that's an OG one. That's like that's
Okay, so what's like a Skibbity YOLO level? Is it going to be around forever, or is it more like planking, like we're going to forget about it soon? Or is it even
I
got?
think.
Is it Damn Daniel, where we're going to look back and cringe?
Well, I think the thing with YOLO is like it had a meaning, you know. It people would say it unironically, but Skibbity, I think from the beginning was kind of just nonsense. So I don't know if it has longevity.
Were people
If it,
saying YOLO unironically at the start, Drew? How do you remember that? We lived through that. I feel like people were always kind of winking and nodding, saying YOLO. No.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's I mean, friend of the pod, former guest, Ruby Justice Thelo, wrote a while ago like this really excellent piece about how memes have this like radioactive quality where like basically, and by radioactive he means that like they literally radiate throughout culture, going from like sort of the like core power users, whether that is Vice employed music writers in Toronto and Brooklyn, or, you know, just like people who are super online following the fucking skibbity toilet thing. And, but also, and then like, you know, sort of filters up from there through your, you know, businesses insider, your New York smag, and then on to like Stephen Colbert with Skibbity Biden. But then also, he means they're nuclear in the sense that they degrade over time and as they spread. Like their meaning becomes lost. Like, you know, the people who are watching the Stephen Colbert thing, they're just like, this is weird. They don't know any of the meaning that you just sort of like delved into. And, you know, if like with YOLO, if it starts with like, you know, people sort of, yeah, like winkingly, ironically being like, I'm going to shotgun this beer, YOLO, I'm going to jump off this thing, whatever. It can very quickly then go into like parts of the internet, parts of media where that initial irony is sort of lost and it just sort of is forced to exist on its own. And this is how I felt like, I felt painfully aware of that process while reading your piece, because I was just like, I don't get any of this except for Baby Gronk.
Well, that's the one that's the most rooted in science and logic. So that one makes the most sense to you, obviously, right?
Yes, that is true. Yes, Gronk. It is logical that a kid who looks like Gronk and
Gets
is closer to
by
the
baby Lizzie. Yeah,
exactly
whatever.
gets rizzed up by Lizzie.
Baby Lizzie.
Yeah.
Whatever. Don't make fun of me. I'm 34. But I guess my issue with this whole brain rot thing is it just sounds like it's always existed. That's why I bring up the YOLO thing. But it just sounds like the time frame in which something can be very popular is shorter and shorter, and the nostalgia period for it is also getting shorter, as evidenced by, you know, like that really popular rapper Ian. He came out at Rolling Loud and he did the Yachty thing. But the Yachty thing is not a very old clip to begin with, right? It's like a year old.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I feel like that's one component of it. And for me, what is at least like was exciting about brain rot in comparison to YOLO is like YOLO almost instantly felt like a mass appeal thing, like something that, you know, was kind of like the chain smokers, like, you know, you're just going out and partying, like Kesha vibe. Like brain rot is almost the opposite, where it came from like these like very puerile digital spaces like 4chan humor and like Roblox, and like it's like real kiddie stuff and kind of like sickly, like people joking about edging and gooning, these like masturbation practices, and like I don't know if you know about like jelking. Like that was a huge meme of like,
What's jelking?
Tell me what's jelking.
Yeah, you can't just go over
oh
that.
man, this is like it's kind of good. Yeah, it's like deep in there. It's basically a technique to like stretch your dick so it gets bigger. And if you do that
Okay.
enough, kind of like maybe like Kegels, but like for the male organ.
Okay.
And that became a meme along with like girth maxing, which is like another idea for like expanding the girth one has.
Oh, okay. When I saw girth maxing, I thought it was like jaw maxing, which I
Oh.
briefly attempted to jaw max.
Oh yeah, mewing. You try to mew. Yeah.
Yeah. I was getting the like strong jaw gum
Oh hell
off
yeah.
Amazon. I wasn't getting the pure like rubber from the tree gum. I was getting the like Turkish gum that you can buy for like 100 pieces for $5 off Amazon. But I stopped doing it because there was like I kept finding like what appeared to be beetle legs in the gum, and I was like, I don't need a strong jaw that much.
That's extra protein, bro.
That's
Wow.
true.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Have you seen results? Or you just stopped?
Good job, bro. It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
No, that was quite some time ago. But anyway, so we're mewing, we're gooning, we're jelking. What else are we doing? Girth maxing.
Brain rotting, norm coring.
We're mogging.
We're mogging. What is mogging?
You know mogging. Mogging is like a term within the looks maxing scene to say you're hotter than somebody else. You mog them. It's like a verb.
Okay.
You mogged somebody else. Yeah, there's
and just
like,
to be clear, I'm in completely like I have no map here. So looks maxing is just what it sounds like, right?
yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of like a toxic, I'd say a more toxic male subculture way of like trying to perfect every inch of yourself using these tactics that, you know, might not be so great.
What, like colloidal silver?
No,
I don't know, what's
taking
that?
steroids.
Oh, colloidal silver. That's like this is some brain rot shit from back in our day.
Oh yeah, tell me in.
That was some shit that Alex Jones would recommend people take for like longevity or anti 5G or whatever. But it turns your skin blue. And so and he would like sell it, I think. And so people would like watch InfoWars and then buy colloidal silver to make their skin blue. And it was just like a good shorthand joke for like, I am an idiot. I've been taking colloidal silver.
Yeah, right.
But actually,
one of us looks like Dr. Manhattan and the other one doesn't. So smartest man alive.
I didn't know you
Fair
could do that.
enough.
That's like the blue version of jaundice. It's like blondis. That's crazy.
yeah. There's some great pictures on the internet of like dudes. It's always dudes who like blued themselves. Shouts out Tobias Funke.
This isn't in the
Love
run
that.
show, but I was wondering if you've noticed a change in like the products that are being advertised to younger generations over the last few years. I mean, like I know just from listening to podcasts for as long as I have that Blue Chew and like a lot of other things are really popular that didn't exist 10 years ago. But I was wondering if you can put me onto some newer, cooler trends.
I've been seeing a ton of these things on TikTok, and it's crazy because the way that like the TikTok shop is so like unmoderated, and when you look at the comments of the videos, everyone is like somehow it sorts it so the ones that are like supporting the product get to the top, so it looks like everyone thinks it's a great product. So there's often like dubious science behind it, and so it's stuff like the gum you got, like mastic gum. Use like the mouth or no the. I think it's like the mouth covers or no mouth tape. Mouth tape is huge right now.
Oh, mouth tape for
fuck is
snoring,
mouth
for
tape?
sleeping.
Yeah,
Awesome
so you breathe through your nose, which apparently is supposed to do good things.
It is. It's much better for you when you're sleeping to breathe through your nose. Yeah.
Really?
Are you mouth taping?
Yeah, I watched like 2 hours of Joe Rogan about this, bro. I know a lot.
I've seen contradictory things, like some Redditors crying about it, saying it ruined their lives or something.
Skill issue.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's like people are getting jawline trainers now. There's this thing that someone told me about called, it's like the male version of weight loss drug. Is called Brozempic, which is apparently in right now.
Oh, sick.
So yeah, they're kind of making it. They're trying to market for men, I guess.
Are kids more likely to inject themselves with stuff than ever before? Because all of these things that you're naming are like injectables, no? Looks maxing requires steroids. Ozempic, I assume, also.
No, I think it's more like pills, like supplements. Like I don't think much looks maxing is injecting steroids. It's a lot of like getting skincare stuff and like caffeine eye serum to make you lose your eye bags. And
What, you can
I
do that?
apparently it does something.
That's why you put tea
Whoa.
bags on your eyes, Drew. Everybody knows that.
You guys don't
I
have eye bags though. You're chilling.
yeah,
Yeah, we have
yeah.
very easy lives. That's why.
You get good sleep.
Yeah, we managed to get in and out. We made our money in media.
That's good.
Well, actually, so like while we're on the subject of the TikTok shop is just Temu, right? Like that's what it is. It seems.
Have you bought anything off Temu,
No, I'm too afraid to.
Kieran?
I haven't, but my roommate has, and I think it's been successful.
I'm shocked to hear that you haven't bought anything off there. That's like really good diligence for you to be on there that much and not have bought a single thing.
I don't have that kind of shopper's desire. I've always been pretty like, I don't know. I'm indecisive, but I never see like one of those like trendy products, and I'm like, this is gonna change my life. This is gonna fix me. I don't know.
But yeah, while we're on the subject of TikTok, so the NBA draft just happened, and it will have happened. People are talking about it more and more. The number one best player who was taken, Jared McCain of the 76ers, noted TikTok influencer. Let's talk about it.
Hmm.
I don't know who that is.
Okay,
What?
great. Awesome. Don't worry. Here's the thing. He's this guy who is like famous. What did he go? He didn't go first overall. Some French guy did, didn't he?
Yeah, Zachary Richichet. No, Jared McCain was 16, and the only reason I know he is a TikToker is because the Sixers took him. But he has
He's
like
also incredibly self-aware. Like he's been doing interviews and he's like, no, I know that people are going to make memes about me every time I lose about how I was making TikToks instead of practicing.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 2.3 million TikTok followers and also like a brand deal with a nail polish company because he like paints his nails.
That's cool.
Yeah, and like he like made a song go to the Billboard like Hot 100 called like 2 Days Into College. And I think he literally just was on TikTok and like he had been at Duke for 2 days and typed in like 2 days into college into the fucking search thing and found it and did like a dance to it and it became like a giant hit.
Wait, that's so funny because I remember seeing that song. It's like by Amy Cardi, I think, right? Like some Irish or European person. I was like, why is this song on the Spotify viral 50 or whatever? But that
Jared McCain.
explains it. Wow.
But what I was going to ask you, Kieran, is like the idea of, I guess maybe because you don't follow sports, you don't see it, but this idea that like these stan accounts pop up for a new player immediately when they get drafted to a team. And they constantly use the term muse. Have you seen this? So they'll be like Kobe Muse, Paul George Muse.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like MEWS?
Yeah.
MUSE.
MUSE.
Oh, I have not seen that. I've seen like, I know like Aura is really popular in the NBA.
That's the second
stan
word I was going to
community.
use. Yeah, they've chosen
I've never
interesting words.
I'm wondering if Muse is similarly like admiring these guys, you know, their charisma and their on court swagger, perhaps, or like inspiring them.
I think so, but it's also funny because a lot of the like Muse accounts are for like decidedly mid players like Marcus Morris.
Yes.
And like or like Klay Thompson, like he used to be amazing, but now he's mid. And like the Muse accounts, like if the player changes teams, they will be like they will act like they have been traded or like signed.
The Klay Thompson one just did this, yeah.
Yes, that's why I was thinking about it. And like I guess like what if you had to guess, who are the types of people doing this, and like what connection do they feel to where they're like why is there a fucking Marcus Morris hive?
That's yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know how mid he is or like how mid these players are, but like there could be an element of like irony at play, or just like the idea of worshiping someone who isn't that good, like because it's kind of funny. Like I feel like that happens in music too, where you have like stan accounts or people obsessing over. There's like this really big thing on TikTok right now where this like white dude has this like really pretty terrible little song where he's like, oh, don't switch now. You're switching like a bitch now. And it's just like really awful. But people are like, oh my God, the GOAT's back. Like, wow, he's doing so much crazy. Like, this is the best song ever. And so maybe it could be something similar to that, where it's like a young person just like finding humor in that. And also the fact that there no stand account already exists. So like you can kind of claim that as your territory. Like you're the guy.
It's like a new brand as an NBA rookie. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And
What do y'all think?
I think that, yeah, the unclaimed territory thing is really interesting, especially in light of like, you know, you getting paid out of Twitter's ad revenue if you have the blue check. And so like, you know, if you have like every like seventh man in the NBA Stan account, and, you know, they're getting like, you know, 10, 15 minutes a night, and one of them drops 20 points, you're already there. You win, you get like $20. You do that enough times, talking like $30, you know?
Well, you mean off like posting about it, or?
Yeah. Like posting the highlights, or like they like to post graphs. I mean, I also think this may have started with like James Harden and like Russell Westbrook, because like James Harden has this huge fan base in China, and like whichever team that James Harden plays for, their Reddit page is completely like unreadable, because every other post is someone being like, James Harden isn't that bad, right? Here are some mathematical arguments against this. And then you click their profile and they only post about James Harden. It's like, if I
it's like Kendrick
were
Lamar fans, they're bots. That's what you're trying to say.
Okay. Yeah, Kieran, do you believe the Kendrick Lamar bot fan allegations?
What
I don't even know about these allegations. I'm unfamiliar, but I believe it. I mean, I feel like at a certain echelon of fame, like I have seen those dodgy Twitter accounts that just like, I don't know, they type in like that LinkedIn format where it's like a space between every line, and I'm like, you're not a real person if you're doing that. Like, so I could see that for someone like Kendrick.
I think the one thing I like about sports adopting the aura and muse terminology is it's like very flattering, whereas music adopted words like stan and glazing. I was never a big fan of glazing. That's
what's glazing?
Like if you're glazing Drake online, you need knee pads for that, you know?
Yeah.
What do I need knee pads for?
The glazing.
What's the relationship there?
It's like fellatio, like sexual.
Oh, okay, cool. Sick. Speaking of which, it's time to talk about Hawk 2.
Oh, let's go.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, one thing that I liked that your piece dropped when it did, because I think a couple days later, the writer Max Reed posted something on his Substack about sort of centered around the Hawk 2 meme and this concept he termed the Zinternet, which he described as 4chan with Southern frat characteristics. And it's like the brain rot impulse almost, but filtered through like Dave Portnoy and YOLOing into AMC stock and fucking, you know, having multiple pouches of Zin in your mouth, etc. And so I guess like, do you see that like brain rot and Zinternet bro style internet shit have like say similar impulses or points of overlap, or do you think there's like a fundamental difference there?
I think they definitely overlap. I've been thinking about kind of a similar thing. I know in his piece he like almost like broke it down into all these like micro networks like banging up against each other. And for a while now I feel like there's been kind of this like it's almost like soft right wings, like a more amorphous network of like people who aren't maybe overtly political, but kind of are in that like Elon Musky vibe of like anything but the left and like you like whatever kind of barstool culture. Um, like I was a big fan of Nelk back in the day on YouTube.
Nelk?
Toronto stand up. Toronto stand up.
Yeah, like the prankster group. Because their stuff used to be so like kind of innocuous, and now they have like Trump on their podcast and whatever. But I feel like there is kind of like this loose ecosystem that even extends to someone like the Lex Friedman, like Joe Rogan contingent of like podcasters. But I guess like the Hawk Twa stuff is a lot more like it's not really like trying to be intellectual or political, and it's just like I don't know, just like a viral video. And I've been getting a lot of I don't know if I'd say similar stuff, but I've been getting a ton of TikToks recently that are like these man on the street interviews, but it's all like who are you voting for in the election? And it's like all Trump, and it's like clearly it's like framed to try and be ambiguous, but it's like very pro-conservative, and it's interesting. Seems like that kind of strain is like becoming more prominent on TikTok, maybe like also in line with this like Southern's introversy culture's internet stuff.
The interesting thing in that Maxwell piece to me was that he kind of said the reason people feel the need to post online, who typically would need to post online, is because they were empowered by Barstool and online gambling and crypto. You know, like you have to post about your gains or like why you got fucked or why you made that 7-leg parlay. So now you have to become DJ Khaled so that you can like post your Instagram story and it doesn't feel corny because you don't normally post.
Let's not touch golf posting. Golf posting is good. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut in, Kieran.
No, I don't know what I was going to say, really. I think like seems like the sports betting legalization stuff is really interesting to me, and the way it spawned like this whole culture. Because like even like the Nelk people and other of these like similar YouTubers, like they always have the ads in all their videos are now like sports betting and like get this app, and it's like it has become so like deeply absorbed in this like whole sphere. And
wait, hold on, Kieran, I have to do an ad read real quick.
Okay.
Nersey is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for fans of gambling and betting.
We're actually doing a new one, 1-800-BETS for kids.
I didn't know this was a betting podcast.
Bets for kids.
Yeah. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook using the link below. And enter the code 257-432-6578, which is Trey's social security number, to get a free bonus bet. No, I was just fucking around. We are not sponsored by DraftKings. I was just wondering if I could like,
hey, get the bag, you know, whatever.
We would love that. But I mean, it is like weird how much of like, you know, internet culture and a lot of, especially maybe exclusively like sort of like male coded culture is subsidized by fucking gambling at this point.
Nah, I bet you it's not.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yes or no? A lot of money on this. So.
You know, yeah. Well, should I put a bet in right now? I don't know. Like, I don't have that many friends who do it. I actually have one friend, my guy Caleb, who like does like he does sports betting journalism, so he's very tapped in. And yeah, from everything he's told me, it is the kids are into it and it's booming. And I went to a baseball game recently, the second baseball game of my life, and my friend bet $100 on the Yankees, and he won like something. He won like maybe $60. So
okay,
I think people are getting into it.
Did he post about the Haktua girl after he won, or did he like participate in the social online discourse?
No, he's pretty offline. Wait, is the Hawk Tuah, is that connected to betting at all?
Yes, sort of. I mean,
I'm sure we could get it there in a couple steps. Let's try. She was in
one,
Nashville.
I can
Nashville Predators.
I can
Hockey
get there
team.
faster.
There you go.
One, Barstool people liked it. Barstool is internet gambling. Done.
Yeah, you got me.
I figured that bit.
I mean, what's interesting is like on Saturday, I had like a long argument with a friend of the pod, Kevin Munger, about like Hawk Tuah. And at a golf tournament, and Max Reed talks about this in his piece, Bryson DeChambeau, the golfer, who is Zinternet core, like believes in aliens, is deeply Christian, like is obviously voting for RFK. It like
Vibes.
he hit the and is also like a pretty obvious steroid user.
Vibes.
Like vibes. Hit the shit out of the golf ball, and someone in the crowd yelled "Hawk Tuah," and that's obviously like, I feel like that is an example of the Ruby Justice the Low thing of like the degradation of a meme's meaning. Like no one was like, oh, that guy's yelling like, Bryson, that shot was so good, I want to fucking suck you off.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a fun thing to yell.
Was that like the Skibbity Biden of the Hawk Tuah arc?
I think so. Well, no, actually, the Skibbity Biden of that was immediately after that. I went and played golf with my friend Zach, and I like nearly drove the green on a par 4, which is like, it was like the longest golf shot I've ever hit. And as soon as it came off the fucking club, I knew it was a good shot, and involuntarily I yelled Hawk Tuah.
Oh my god!
Like the meaning has now changed from like beach to person hit a good golf shot.
Also, Kieran, I like how optimistic you are that Biden's not going to have his own Hawk Tuah arc.
I feel like he's. Did you see like what the Democrats tweeted out? They're more of like the Chapel Roan, like hot to go. That's like what they're trying to. Or wait. You mean he's not gonna?
No, he's gonna have a
Hawk Tuah.
Yeah, he's gonna say Hawk Tuah. They're gonna make him say it. Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows if they want to wade into that area of culture? They might read the Max Reed piece and be like, shit, we can't like associate with this.
What's something like? What's a person that can automatically make something uncool? Like, what's an example of a person that if they said "skibbity bee," for example, or whatever the fuck,
yeah,
they would automatically lose everything? Who's the most mainstream person ever? I guess that's what I'm asking you.
I mean, like, I think what people would probably associate unfairly, but like maybe fairly, but Hillary Clinton, I think if she said anything skibbity,
Pokemon go to the
oriented. Polls. Yeah, and that kind of like immediately was just like, I don't know though. I think a lot of like it really depends, because things are like so fractured now that like just because somebody says something doesn't mean it's dead. Like just because there's a Skibbity Biden thing doesn't mean that the Skibbity jokes are going to end. People still find that funny. So,
well, see, back in my day, we had something called the Ellen DeGeneres Show, where memes would come on and talk about the meme. So Damn Daniel would come on. They would talk about the white vans. They would give him a pair of shoes. They would donate some to the audience, and then it's done. We don't have to hear about that fucking meme anymore. And now we don't have Ellen. So stuff has to kind of just like nuclear radiate away, to use Ruby's colloquialism. But it never really goes away, does it? It's always just like there, ready to be referenced for someone to be like, hey, remember this thing from a year ago?
Yeah. Now it's like, I guess if it goes on, if like I Show Speed starts talking about it, or no, like Aiden Ross, maybe if Aiden Ross or Sneeko start talking about a term, maybe it'll die after that.
Nice. That's awesome that those guys are the antipathy of cool.
What happened to Daniel? Like, is he still wearing shoes?
Oh, dude, he's like a hedge fund manager, probably.
Oh, that's kind of cursed.
Yeah, no, Damn Daniel became the guy who like went viral for really wanting, like loving spreadsheets or whatever.
Nah, he was in January 6th.
That makes sense.
Do you think the Mischief Red Boots will ever come back, Kieran?
No, I think they were DOA. Like, I feel like I only saw them on like really shitty Instagram pictures and videos. Like I don't think I've ever seen them in real life. And I'm in New York, which is like you should see them here, but
Hmm.
alas.
What kind of things from the internet are you seeing in New York? And you can't say like people. That doesn't count.
I mean, this isn't like fashion, but I've seen people doing like the NPC live stuff on the
What?
Oh
street.
yeah.
Oh my
There's like a
God.
guy who's like does it in Soho. It's like his thing. I think he went to Miami for a bit, but then maybe he got burnt out and he came back.
What's
Wow.
Pinky Doll up to?
I think she's still grinding. She's still
Good
doing
for
it.
her, man. Salute.
I
Um,
don't know what else though. I feel like there's a lot of like I honestly don't see much of the man on the street stuff, even though it's like everywhere online. Like I go around Washington Square Park a lot. Nobody ever stops me to be like, "What are you listening to?" So I can't be like this like esoteric Osama Sun unreleased song, but like you know,
No one's ever like, what do you do for work? And then you invite them into your apartment.
yeah, no, nobody's ever wanted to see my room. Like, kind of rude.
Do you think those
sorry.
things are real though? I think they're all fake.
I think they're
Like,
staged. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I mean, I used to work with the Subway Takes guy, Kareem. I can put you guys in touch if you'd like. You can be interviewed with a fucking Subway card instead of a microphone.
Yeah, if he
Such a
wants a
good idea.
session. I'm a huge Subway fan. Like I love
What's your
trains.
favorite sandwich? Oh, okay.
Well, I do like the Subway sandwich too. I think the spicy Italian with everything. I'm a big
Okay.
fan.
What's your favorite train line? Or like, what do you like about the subway? Like, do you like the infrastructure? Do you like the experience? Like, what's going on here?
I think it's like maybe similar to like the genre mapping sensibility of my brain where I enjoy seeing the connections, like the way that the train map can get so big and then like there'll be weird crossovers at very far out parts of the line. And as a kid, I love making like imaginary train maps and doing that kind of shit.
Mm.
I'm a big fan of the. Wait, what is? I'm a big fan of the Z train. That one's like so rare. Like it's like the
You mean
J's like
the
Z
Z train?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the secret relative of the J train that nobody knows about. Never
You know,
shows
there's a
up.
rapper who's named after both of those train lines.
Yeah, Drake, right?
Yeah, ZJ actually.
Oh, ZJ. I gotta tap in.
Does any city have an equally good or better train line or train system,
Yeah.
do you think?
I love the London Tube. It's like
Okay.
quality trains there.
There was like a cartography innovation with that one, right? Like Harry's map that talks about the London Tube.
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. I know like there's a lot of really interesting history about how the train like stations were used as like underground bunkers when London was getting bombed during World War II. I'm not sure about the actual cartography, but I remember being a kid visiting London a lot, and there was this one train, like the Docklands Light Railway, where it has like nobody driving it, and you can go sit in the very front seat, and it feels kind of like a roller coaster.
Whoa,
And I just remember being like a 6-year-old and thinking that was the coolest thing ever.
that's sick.
Can we talk about music real quick? Because I am curious, because you're the
Okay, yeah.
youngest person we've had. What's your coming of age movie for someone in your generation?
Oh, coming of age movie?
Wait,
For
do you
you,
mean
uh,
album? You
No,
asked,
movie.
but you said let's talk about music.
Yeah.
Let's talk about movies. What's your favorite coming of age movie?
I don't know. I feel like I can't remember like any coming of age movie that really like changed me, but I feel like I was in high school when like Lady Bird came out and that felt like a big thing. Like Call Me by Your Name too, even though that's not really coming of age. That's
Yay.
coming out of age maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I watched a lot of stuff like Goodfellas but none of that really like changed me like after
I mean,
hours.
Lady Bird is a common answer I've heard amongst your generation, but it's interesting that there hasn't really been anything since. Because it's super bad for me, and probably Drew too. I don't know. Don't want
Yeah.
to speak for Drew. Drew probably had something like Kids or some kind of cool New York shit.
Oh, I'm
This is
from the
coming of
middle of
age thing.
fucking nowhere, dude. Superbad came out when I was a senior in high school, and
Yep.
yeah, like we were like,
Admission,
damn,
just find beer. You just gotta
Yeah.
find some beer.
I gotta
We were
pull
like-
up. I have terrible recall, but I have like all the movies I've seen in the last like 5 years on this one document.
oh
I'm
my
like-
god.
I mean, if you can't remember them off the top of your head, it probably means you didn't like them very much, right?
Or I'm just fried. Like I think I have like COVID brain fog. So
Do you think that like your viewing habits online can be repaired? Like the damage that's done to your brain? Do you think that you can ever rewire your synapses?
yeah, I think people overrate it, like the damage the internet can do. Like you just go outside and like I think the dopamine detox is a real thing. It's kind of like anything, right? Where you have too much sugar, too much alcohol, just like you got to withdraw a bit. But I think probably the internet, the damage that it's done is less than like, I don't know. Like I do think I have had like long COVID brain fog, and I feel like that's worse than anything
Hmm.
the internet has done for me or done to me. But I mean, yeah, probably like growing up as someone who, since the age of like 6, was playing video games online and like obsessed with, spending every hour on YouTube, like that definitely shaped me,
I mean,
Yeah.
the
my
internet
parents.
did make you throw up vis-a-vis a gallon of milk.
It did, yeah. I might have made that choice myself, but I was definitely angling for views. So yeah.
I mean, I will say, like, when I was in high school and we had like dial up or like DSL or whatever and could not upload videos, I still was part of a group of kids that like gathered in a circle around the back of a gas station as these two dudes had a gallon of milk chugging contest and they both threw up.
Yeah, but see, the
I thought
kids
that-
don't even have the circle anymore.
That's true. The circle, like, it's now sort of the implied circle of the online audience, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What's the circle? What do you mean?
Oh,
Like
like
the huddle
as in
of
like,
people around the guy drinking the milk. You know, how, like when
Yeah.
there's a fight, people watch. Now
Yeah.
people just watch on their phones and yell "World Star." Actually, does World Star even connect to you? Do you know what that means?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I remember
Did you read it in a history
World
book or
Star
something?
videos.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm not that young. I'm like, I'm
What are you,
almost
24?
no, I'm actually 32.
That's old, bro.
No, I am 24. You got it right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really young, bro.
that's 24. That's you're young, but you're a vet in the game.
That's the last
Yeah.
age in which you can blame your age for anything. That's the last time you
Right.
can be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm like 23, 22, 21. You can't really do that at 24 going forward. People expect
Yeah.
stuff of you. Yeah.
That makes sense. I feel like I'm also nearing the limit of like moshing at young kid rap shows. Like I was moshing at the Netspend show and the
Mhm.
AOLE Polo Perks Dorian show recently. And I was just like, I was looking around at one point. I was like, everyone here is like really tiny and young. And I was like, I'm at like a high school prom. Like shit.
What is Netspin's aura like in person?
It actually is like, it's almost like the aura is bigger than the music itself. Maybe that's obvious. Like, cause I feel like I mean, he's just as like a normal kid, but the fact that everyone in this like room, like all like 80 kids who showed up to see him in the Lower East Side, they were like dying for him. They were like, "Oh my god!" Like it was like a reaction to Justin Bieber or like One Direction when he came in.
That's
And
so crazy. Like these are
It is
real
real.
reactions. Like this is not like a people answer to Craigslist ad. This feels legitimate.
yeah, and it's funny because like I don't know if the music even like is worth it for that. And I think I wrote like a piece and I described it as like everyone had their phones out and it was like it felt like old Hollywood paparazzi, like with the flash bulbs. Like they were trying to get his face, like, Nesman over here, look over here. And then after he was like standing out of this car and like there was this huge mass of kids congregating around it to see if like he would sign their hat or like talk to them or, bestow a word to them.
I like that though. I'm like glad that that energy still like is existing and is being directed somewhere. But is it also like a thing where like maybe I'm imagining a sort of feedback loop where like Netspend is big because of posting, and then does the live show itself function as sort of an occasion for posting?
Yeah, I think it's similar to like Ian's video at like with Lil Yachty as well, where it's like, and I was thinking about this a lot in comparison to like other genres recently, but like I feel like concert videos can really make like a new rapper when you see that hype. Like it makes people get excited about somebody. And like it's funny because I don't think of Netspend as like a rabid poster. Like I feel like he doesn't regularly come on my Twitter feed, like because I don't, you can see in his lyrics, like I don't know if he has anything insightful to say about anything. Like you don't I'm like, you don't really go to him for the lyrics or like the thoughts. So it is still kind of a mystery to me why or like how he's managed to cultivate this like unhinged fan base. But I think the live shows and the freakouts that you can see definitely helps like gin up more excitement. Yeah.
Do you
Well,
think Go ahead, Drew.
Okay. Just to be clear, I meant like not that Netspend is doing the posting, but that like sort of his popularity is propelled by people posting about him using his songs as like the background of the video or whatever.
Yeah, I think to an extent. I also haven't seen him like taking over TikTok. He doesn't have like a mega hit. So I really don't know what it is. I think part of it is like videos where it's not even his music, but like people interviewing him, and he'll give. I remember there was like some video asking like what his favorite rap song was or something, and it was like it is some answer like some late 2010 SoundCloud rapper, I feel like, and everyone in the comments was like, "This kid was born in like 2021. How did he hear that music?" And so I think yeah, there's definitely like the cult fan posting and then also like the hate fan posting. These people who like they despise him, but they almost like can't look away and can't stop talking about him, and that fuels it.
Do you think there's stuff that's getting astroturfed by like labels or any kind of big money online on the platforms that you're using to find information? And if so, are you able to detect what's organic and what's not?
Yeah, I feel like definitely there's a lot of like, I mean, there's this whole like the whole funk scene right now, this like new strain of funk music that's like going like astronomic on TikTok, is like a lot of people making like low effort music, and then it gets signed to like this like a label who doesn't have any interest in like cultivating it. They just want to squeeze as much money out of it as possible, and they get the artist to like make these really lame like sped up remixes and shit to like get more hits. I know that even
they
like
will be sampling Kingpin Skinny Pimp.
yes. They know. Okay, one thing that I don't know. Do you guys ever listen to like the Trap Nation YouTube channel?
No,
No.
but I'm going to after this.
Yeah,
It's
now
kind of
that I
like
know that that's what 24-year-olds do, I'm gonna do it too.
it was like early 2010s kind of vibe of like festival music, like Flosstradamus and like Mr. Carmack and those guys get uploaded on there.
Hell yeah.
But they've like started a label now, and they do this thing where they're like leasing these songs where they don't want to actually like, I don't think they want to get anybody on like actually sign any artists, but they'll like hunt down the latest like funk songs popping off, and they'll like basically just seemingly like be like, okay, we'll promote your music for you. You give us like half your royalties. And a lot of these people are kids, and I don't think they know any better, so they sign stuff over. And so I feel like there's a lot of like that kind of vampiric industry activity. And then there are like entire scenes that just feel like AstroTurf bad music, like the Crush Club scene. Not entirely bad, but it definitely feels a lot of it feels like inauthentic.
What's
And
Crush Club?
it's kind of like, it's hard to explain it in a coherent way, but it's like Jersey Club plus hyperpop beat croons plus like almost like shoegazy noise all mashed together. And a lot of the biggest songs have these very like bombastic lyrics that feel like, it's that kind of like Gen Alpha, like BB No Money kind of vibe, or like Roblox generation stuff. I'm just like throwing buzzwords out, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
Jesus Christ. Are you even speaking English at this point? Like, I think my stream switched to Turkish halfway through there. Did you say BB Bababu?
No, BB No Money.
BB No Money.
Oh, yeah, my bad. BB No Money, yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
Yeah. He's all right. I like Pee Pee Poo Poo Kaka.
Damn, I gotta get involved with that. It sounds like
You're like upset. What's the last thing that you heard about and you're like, nah, that's not for me. I don't want to find out anything else about that.
I don't know if I have that like gate. I'm kind of just like open to whatever. I did get into this, or I've been into this for a while, but I recently did some more research into this scene called Chilean sex trance.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
It's like there's this digital, very internety version of trance now called sex trance, which is like you combine trance music with almost like kawaii kind of aesthetics and like bit crushing, so it sounds really distorted and pixelated. And for some reason, a lot of the main practitioners are from Chile. So it's kind of like hard to find out. Like they're really like on the backwaters of SoundCloud and they don't really have any presence on TikTok or, in New York. Actually, a few of them are in New York. So I think maybe there's like a New York strain of it. But yeah, it's really pounding, pummeling music. But sounds kind of like Zoomerified. I recommend it. It's very listenable.
Okay, yeah. Well, going back to funk, and also to make this like very near and dear to Slava's heart, didn't you write about how a funk song became sort of this like Russian unity anthem? After a church shooting or something?
Wait.
Which one?
Oh wait, are you talking about the oh yeah. The song with like the kind of gibberish title in like Cyrillic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like also it's like kind of an adjacent scene called Trash Wave. That's
Okay.
I feel like what am I doing with my life? I'm like
No, this
I'm
is
like
great.
a repository of garbage.
No.
Wave.
It's you'll get over it at some point, but for now, it's great.
Yeah. I'm in like this. I'm like single 24. I can just like I just have time for this shit. What if I'm like 72 and I'm listening to like Mormon Wave or I'm listening to like Garbocore? Like
you absolutely don't want to do that because that would make you Robert Christgau.
Yeah, Robert Christgau. He doesn't know what Dargacore is. Probably he's not. He's cooked.
Yeah, actually, it's actually probably worse because he probably has a really strong opinion on it.
I would love to hear that. I need that. Wait, what was the? Did you have a question before, or you said something before? I forget.
We were talking about Trash Wave.
Oh yeah. That was like this actually really great song that went bizarrely mega viral and is combining like hardstyle and drum and bass into this like radiant cacophony of shit. And it kind of sounds like it's almost like a horror. It's like a jump scare in like music form. And it went viral around the time when there was that massacre at like the Crocus City Hall somewhere in Russia. And people were like using that song because it was kind of like scary. And there was this video on YouTube of it with it looked like a person hanging out the back of an ambulance. And I think some people maybe thought that was related to what happened or this song was like a tribute to that. And people were also really kind of just like bamboozled. Like, how could people let this song go viral in this really sad, scary time? But to my knowledge, the song had absolutely no. It came out like before I think this even happened. It had nothing to do with it, and it's like this I don't even know where they're from. It's just like an like anonymous artist named Veerval, and this is like their one song, and it has like 30 million Spotify plays. So it's one of like the biggest like online hits, biggest TikTok hits in the last few months, and it's just
So
like
I
shrouded.
I completely fucked that question up. It sounds like
Well, it's kind of like adjacent to funk, I feel.
okay, but it also was not a Russian national unity anthem.
I mean, it kind of it became one. You know, you were pretty much there.
Okay.
Well, all these words you're saying, trash wave, rice drum, vibe, beach, whatever, like, do words kind of lose meanings after a while because you just combine them in the most random combinations for you? Because it feels like words have lost meaning over time. And specifically, I'm talking about the word based, which means a whole different thing now than it did 10 years ago. But the people who are using it now are not attributing it to the right person. Do you know where based comes from?
Yeah. I'm a bass scholar. Did you read that like awful New York Times piece?
Exactly.
Yeah, the middle-aged dude. I think he even got like glazing wrong, didn't he? He was like he didn't know
Well,
about.
he said it would be based if Canada joins America. That would be based in any definition of the word, not the current one or the previous one.
Maybe if you like really fuck with poutine.
Hey,
no, because then Canada would be based in America.
Oh, that's not the one. Kieran, where does the word "based" come from?
Lil B, of course.
Thank you.
Okay, are you bitch mob, pink bandana,
toes out for Lil B?
Wait, what?
Toes out for Lil B. It's
Sorry,
funny
we just inundated you.
Yeah, you gave me some
millennial memes.
Yeah, exactly.
I was never on MySpace or like even early Twitter, so I missed the Lil B social media presence. But
damn, so you don't even have a favorite Kid Cudi song?
Is that a joke? Is that a meme?
What, Kid Cudi?
Oh, I thought that was like a Lil B. You're doing more Lil B lore. No, I was never really a Kid Cudi guy either. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really like the Kids See Ghost thing.
That's your entrance to Kid Cudi?
No, I mean I know other Kid Cudi, but I feel like that was the most recent like main. Wait, Kid Cudi was on Astroworld too, right? He did the.
Oh my God, Kieran.
We are of the generation who felt like a fucking like Metallica cutting their hair level rage.
Yes.
The Kid Cudi pivoted from the like Fool's Gold adjacent-esque sound of a kid named Cudi to the fucking Man on the Moon shit.
Really?
Yeah, dude. What you know about them Night Terrors? Nothing.
You weren't like trying to be a lonely smoker at night?
Lonely stoner.
Lonely stoner. And
God damn it. You try to fit in with my culture.
Yes. See, I wasn't smoking weed when I was like 9, so I kind of missed that.
You guys had K2 and shit, right?
Wait, what?
You had K2, 2C, all the drugs that you were on had numbers.
I thought you said we had Me Too. I was like, yeah, I guess we did.
Smoking on that Me Too.
The Me Too pack went crazy.
Good one. But because you go into so many subcultures, have you ever accidentally like radicalized yourself?
I don't think so. I feel like, there was definitely like an era before the 2016 election where I was doing a lot of like research into the really far right forums. It's always been a fascination of mine. And I don't know. I think I probably ingested some stuff that was not good for me. And like, maybe it was good. Like I was pretty Bernie pilled for a while. And that was partially from seeing like just very visceral, intense, like Hillary hatred in some parts of the internet. But I don't know. I've always kind of been able to hold that stuff at a distance, and like I kind of write about it. I used to be like a conspiracy theory reporter, so it just seems so ridiculous to me. And I've never luckily like been I don't know.
You've never watched Tate and been like, oh, that's a good point.
Not Tate. Some like Tate's pretty intense, but I feel like I've listened to maybe like Joe Rogan. I don't know. I don't think I've ever like gotten anything from Joe Rogan, but I haven't tried to listen to him.
You clean your
I don't
room
know.
every morning. It's
No,
one of the rules for life.
I'm like a once every 3 weeks, like mega clean kind of guy.
Okay,
I
that's
respect
not
that.
one. Yeah, Jordan Peterson one like that.
Um,
Yeah, Jordan
okay,
Peters.
I'm just gonna
Shout out
read you.
Toronto,
Yeah, shouts out Toronto, all the best
Elk
people.
Boys, Jordan Peterson, Slava P.
How do we become more brain rot?
Too
Do
many
we wanna
coherent
be?
sentences.
Okay.
You gotta like bring it down to like no, actually I think if it was any more brain rotting, then that would be bad. Like I think you need some semblance of professionalism and
I
you
see.
know industry.
Okay, so you're saying don't have a Biden boy summer where you start thoughts and don't finish them, trail off unexpectedly. You're saying be direct.
I mean, I guess it depends on like how funny the result is, because like some of that stuff was horrifying to watch, but like what like listening to the clips of like the to beat Medicare and like the Trump retort when he was like, I don't understand what he's saying. Like funny. I mean, you can't deny it. Like
Yeah,
it's
Trump's a
just really
funny guy.
sad. Yeah, he's definitely one of the foremost comedians of the era.
It's just
I
crazy
mean,
how high the stakes are. President of the United States. If this isn't even Survivor or something like that, it would be great if this was Survivor, you know?
Yeah, we need to like vote him out, but then we can't. Like, there's too many jurors now. It's like everybody.
Are we talking about Survivor? Is that how it works?
Well, yeah, well,
No,
Survivor
it's
you
like
got
an
like a
AT&T
tribe.
number. Yeah, no, it's an AT&T number. I remember. Isn't it?
What?
Is it? It used to, in early seasons of Survivor, you would do the final choice by, oh, I'm thinking of American Idol. Sorry, I'm thinking of
Yeah,
American
yeah,
Idol.
yeah.
there was like an AT&T vote where you'd vote on like the favorite, and then they'd get like an extra cash money, I think. But
Wow. That's good though. That like sort of eliminates some of the like meta game plays, maybe, or maybe it just accentuates them.
Are we talking about the U.S. election?
Uh, no, the metagame plays will always be engaged in by the Democratic Party. But no, like I feel like Kieran, you were saying, or like I've read about the Survivor metagame where like at a certain point they just got to a place where they were like, oh, that person is like strong and charming and like seems honest, so we are going to immediately vote them out.
mm, yeah, I
So
think
they like,
there's definitely some of that, and the strategy has gotten to a point where people have definitely kind of figured it out, where it's like there's a whole like meat shield thing where you keep around the big threats so they don't see you, but then you vote them out right before the end. So all the good people get out and you end up with like a really miserable final three of like non-threats. And it's like, damn, like it feels like the season was a damp squib in the end.
so it's
Damn
like,
squib, but that's a fucking awesome literary turn phrase.
Oh yeah, I love it. I think of like a really despondent squid.
Oh, a squid.
Well, I said squib, but it makes me think of the word squid.
all right, I need to read a thing that you sent to me on DM. It's very short. It's just the Drake slash Kendrick fake gay AI diss that took over TikTok for a sec. What is that? I couldn't figure out a way to shoehorn it in before, so I'm just doing it now.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, yeah, that's like this AI song that got popular recently. Basically, Drake, I forget the exact words, but he's just basically saying that he's gonna make Kendrick gay and like do back shots on him and like a bunch of related gay stuff. It's a very like happy pride, like woo. But it was really funny because the video trend was like people would get their like significant other to watch the video without listen to the song without telling them what it was and be like, oh, there's a new disc just dropped, and then you'd see their like agape reaction. They'd be like so horrified or confused, or like, what the hell is this? And I feel like that was a a rare good use of AI.
What about SpongeBob rap and like Hank Hill singing gunslinger ballads?
That got overrated so fast. Like that was a huge trend for a moment, and some of it was really good, but it's just overdone. And that stuff kind of irritates me now, where it's like get any niche or popular figure to do like a Kanye West song, and it's not even funny.
They had another one that burnt out real quick where they took rap music and put it through like this old timey filter to make it sound like it's like a Western, ballad. And that got real old real fast. I loved it for the like 36 hours that I like saw clips, but then I was like, I'm tired of playing with this toy.
Yeah.
Do you think AI is going to be like a net positive for brain rot or net negative? Because people have to kind of pay attention more because of AI, but there's also way more stuff being created.
Yeah. I mean, right now it is like spawned a few really intriguing trends. Like one of my favorite things was the AI presidential debate thing on TikTok last year, it'd be like Trump and Biden and Obama playing Minecraft together.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, you suck ass at Fortnite, whatever. I thought that was hilarious. And there are some newer ones, this thing called like AP brain rot exams, which people are like using AI to create, and it's like basically quizzing you on whether like on how cooked you are if you've like reached unk status and you like know the old brain rot too. And that's like kind of like funny, but you get the sense that people are pumping this stuff out so much now and like so inorganically that it's like it's just a dead end. You reach a limit on what you can do.
I mean, it's like such a bigger phenomenon, but it kind of reminds me of like, do y'all remember in like 2012, 13, maybe even earlier, there was like this, I want to say South Korean company where if you gave them $100, they would make a really shitty, poorly made computer animated video of whatever you wanted.
Is this one they would use for news reenactments?
Yeah. Oh, it was the news reenactments. Yes.
Yeah, it was a Taiwanese-based company.
Okay. Yes. There was like a Taiwanese company that, would do news reenactments, and they were always like really funny because they were bad. And then Diplo ruined it by commissioning that same company to make a video for his dubstep song with Lil Jon called I Don't Like You.
Oh no.
Yep. I'm going to send it to you right now to make everyone sad.
The Taiwanese animation company famously did a really good Tiger Woods reenactment if anybody wants to watch that.
Oh, cool. I didn't know what this was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is
funny. Yeah.
This is foundational brain rot shit right here.
Drop it in the chat.
All right. Oh, no.
Which one are you dropping, Drew? Like the Diplo one?
The Diplo one, yeah.
No, you have to watch the source.
Yeah, you have to watch the OG first, and then this
is what they actually got famous for. Is like the reenactment. Fast forward to about like 35 seconds. Essentially, this company would just take American clips and put like bad overdub over it. But so this show Tiger Woods like getting in the car, driving away. She's chasing him with a crowbar.
Here we go.
Like around a minute in, it gets real good.
Wait. Yeah, wait, the Diplo video is crazy. This is like a proto MLG video.
Yeah, no, I mean like actually no, that song was really good. I just sort of like am sad that Lil Jon like sort of pivoted to EDM in the 2010s because like what he should have been doing was like being the first person to be like, actually crunk is like vintage. And like I'm gonna give people that like vintage crunk the same way that like Big Crit was giving people like vintage, like 90s UGK country rap shit. But that's really those are my own personal issues. Kieran, last question. How do you find out about music? And by this, I mean, what role does your little brother play in helping you helping you keep up with things?
I'm not gonna lie, like I love my younger brother, and he's put me onto a lot of like youth culture stuff before, like TikTok and even Roblox to an extent. But I don't get much music from him. He has a pretty like I'd say like insular set of things he enjoys, and that's like the boy genius kind of spectrum of things. That like softer indie, like Alex G core. We bonded over Feeble Little Horse last year, which I love that rock group. But I don't know. I think he doesn't love we have like different neurons, maybe different like brain wires, because he doesn't love the hyper stuff that I really enjoy, and the fried rap, and like that's not really his bag. But I'd say in general, like for discovery, I am, just everything, like SoundCloud. I do a lot of like going to profiles and digging, and like I'm always on the hunt on like Spotify, looking at different like playlists and seeing what's grouped together, and what's this weird genre I haven't heard of, and TikTok hits, and even like my algorithm, as well as the brain rot, it's very tapped into like this micro strain of rap, and I've been getting this there's like this kind of micro dance trend inspired by Osama Son called the Osama Walk. And I think because I've been viewing some of that, I've been getting this just really like weird underground stuff, and like this seemingly like Russian military woman who's doing like the Osama Walk, like while like serving. And that's been getting some like traction.
What's the Osama Walk? What does that look like?
Yeah,
look up the Osama Walk. It's kind of a great song. Just Score It. And that song has become like attached to this dance.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna start doing this.
Oh, you found it already? Damn.
Yeah, TikTok has a really good desktop app. Did you go on anything on your desktop, or is everything on your phone?
Yeah, I'm all on my desktop. I only have a laptop in New York, but I don't understand how people cannot. I'm on my phone a decent amount, but I feel like my screen time is probably like an hour and a half a day. I don't really go on, like I go on Twitter a decent amount, but yeah, I'm more on my laptop.
Oh wow, I would have thought you'd have like an 8-hour screen time with how much TikTok.
Well, you can go on the desktop.
Yeah, I feel like my daily dosage now is probably like 30, 45 minutes on TikTok, and like I try and stay off Twitter unless I'm like scanning for things, and same with Instagram. I try and be as offline as possible, considering how much brain rot I'm consuming. I feel like that's healthy.
True.
Get the ratio right.
It's like if you only do drugs once in a while, but it's black tar heroin.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like I'll do
like monthly.
I'll do like 86 bumps of ketamine like once every, 4 days.
Lunar cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, fellow viewers. It's been great mogging and jump maxing with you. You've been listening to the Nerdsy podcast.
Thank you, Kieran.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. Although one note, actually, you've been gooning to the Nerdsy podcast.
That might get you a lawsuit. I don't know. That's crazy.
What is goon?
No, Kieran, don't explain this one to him.
Okay, bye.
Gooning is nothing though. You got to get on to the neo gooning and the exo gooning and then the hyper gooning.